Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Kicking It with Rye. Lately, I have been thinking about ways that I can keep my mind in a positive, lane or whatever. Like, I have these moments where I will definitely overthink things and definitely feel like, am I even on the right track? And then the enemy come in my mind and make me believe that I'm not enough, or confuse me on what God is calling me to do. I've been struggling a lot with that, and I've cried and tried to I've cried and trying to just figure out what's for me, like I feel like a lot of people around my age, or a lot of people period, are trying to figure out like what is for me, what is my lane. I don't want to waste time. Life is short. Where do I start? Where do I go? And I've been having this conversation with God on a regular basis, and I feel like how when people say, if you're wondering or you keep asking God what to do, go back to the thing that you remember him telling you to do. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm going back to what I feel like God was telling me to do from the jump. And I feel like it's, even though I could have continued to do it back then, I feel like it's perfect timing now. So all this to say, if you feel like there's something that God told you to do before and you kind of second guess yourself or doubted yourself or felt like, oh well, that's not one of my strong areas, God works through you. He works in your weakest areas. He shows himself in those areas so that you can give him the glory when everything turns out great. You just got to trust the process. And I want to tell whoever is second guessing themselves or doubting what God is calling them to do, you just got to take it step by step and just go for it. Like, at this point, I'm in the place where it's like, just go for it. If it don't work, it don't work. But what if it does? And that's why we have to be more, positive about ourselves, positive about our lives, speaking good on ourselves instead of saying, oh, I don't know. Because I am famous for that. I don't know. I'm not sure. And now I'm trying to get into a place where I'm like, I got this. And if I'm not called to do this, I'm going to follow something else that's better for me. Or maybe this is better for me. Maybe this is going to open doors for more things that God is trying to do in my life. Because it's not about us. You know what I mean? It's about what God is trying to do through us, It can't just be about you. You know what I mean? The flaws that you see, God may see as a masterpiece. The flaws you see may be what God is using to help you become successful. You know what I mean? So we can't be thinking about realistically what could happen, because we don't serve a God that is in the natural. We don't serve a God that wants you to look at what you see. You know what I mean? You're supposed to, faith is believing in the unseen. Like, if we're going to say, God, I trust your plan in my life. Like, I want whatever you have for me. You got to understand that your thoughts are not God's thoughts. You have to just go with the flow and do whatever you're feeling like he's calling you to do. You can't just focus on what you see. You know what I'm saying? It says lean not on your own understanding. So it's gonna be tough. Like, trust me, when everybody's looking like, what are you doing? Oh, this don't make sense. Or some people don't believe in the dream or what the word that God gave you. You cannot stray away from it. If you really want what God has for you, you got to get through the process, even if others don't believe it or others don't understand it. And it's a process because we still live in the world. So it's kind of like, God, like, don't nobody get it. Why don't nobody else get it? Like, and the people you love and care for may not understand. They may not support you, and you still have to be like, on board with God and his word. And you can't just take other people, like, I will listen to other people and their opinions about what I have going on, and I'll just be like, well, maybe that's God speaking through them, or maybe that's not what God is calling me to do. But it keeps popping up in my mind. So you know, I feel like God is still urging me, like, hey, I'm trying to give you another chance. Go ahead and do it. Let's see. And, you know, and let's just say I'm wrong. Oh, well, like, I just want to see what God has for me. And you should see what God has for you. If you feel like God's calling you to do something and you feel like, oh, I'm not qualified, you don't have to be qualified. You're qualified because you're a child of God. God will show you that you're qualified. God will show you your greatness. You just got to keep on pushing. And I apologize, y'all, if my nose sounds stuffy, like my voice is like off. But yeah, the weather is changing. Surprisingly, the weather is really changing this time because it's normally still warm around this time. Like last year, I believe it was still warm, but it's gotten very cold very fast, in my opinion. And it was really hot this summer, so yeah. But yeah, stay true to yourself, stay true to God. Don't let nobody steer you away from what God is calling you to do. If you don't believe in it, God believes in you, and He's going to work through you. So you have to believe in it. You have to believe in what God is calling you to do. Just go for it and watch God work. So y'all have a blessed week. And thank you for watching again and kicking it with me. Bye.